Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to In Case You Missed It. Oh, crap. I forgot to put my hat on. Hang on a second. All righty. There we go. That way you don't see my shiny head with my short hair. Let's get the ticker going. All right, folks. I hate to do videos like this, but I almost wasn't going to do one tonight. But I'm going to have to go off a little bit tonight. So y'all hang tight. I'll get to your comments and questions as quick as I can. But before I do, let me say hello to my channel members that have stuck by me through thick and thin. Good friends. Most of them are good personal friends that I talk to on a regular basis. We'll start with the original channel member and work our way up to the most recent. We've got Ramon. We've got Robbie Ross, Corey Oatley, Midlife Trucker, Red Raider Reloading, Randy's Road Life, Smaller Hauler, Oaser DM, Roger Berry, Armando Perez, Bobby, RGB, Gary Cook, My Name is Nobody, Trucker Dan, Tattooed Trucker, KC, Skyhook Trucker, a trucker named Tim, H-Man, 18-wheeler, Jordan B, PU Patel, No Fear. Man, we got a lot more of them this week. Davenport Family, Mark Ely, Racing Ray, and Lance Calhoun. Incidentally, if you're wondering what a channel member is, if you'd like to become one, there's a little button at the bottom of the screen that says join. You can click on that and learn all about it. You get a neat little icon by your name that changes over time the longer you're a member. You get some exclusive content when I get to do it. Hadn't been able to yet. My tooth, we'll talk about that tonight as well. But it's your opportunity to become part of the Gorilla Gang. I hope you'll take advantage of that. All right, before I go off, let me answer a question I've been answering for the last 2 days. What happened with my mouth? I got to Laurel, Montana, and I started calling dentists in the area. For those that don't know, back in it was December, January, I had a tooth pulled. It was a molar, and man, all of a sudden I started having a bone or a tooth or something come out the side of my gum. It was going into my cheek. The side of my face was swelling. It was extremely painful. Of all the dentists I called, only one of them called me back. He said, yeah, I can see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. So I took a $20 Lyft ride over to the dentist. There wasn't nowhere to park a truck down there. By the way, it was a 3-mile trip. That means they're getting almost $7 a mile. Something's wrong when a guy can show up in a GMC Canyon pickup and get almost $7 a mile to haul me, but we're pulling freight for sub $2 a mile in a lot of cases. So something's not right there. But anyway, nice guy. He dropped me off there. I got the dental work done, and then another lady brought me back. So that day alone, I had $40 in Lyft rides, which I was just blown away. I thought that was ridiculously expensive. But anyway, I got to the dentist. They did the x-rays. They did the exam. And basically, what they thought had happened was they said when your teeth have a lot of pressure on them, either you grind your teeth or whatever, it forms a little ring around your teeth to make them stronger. And when they pulled that molar, there was a ring there and it broke. And part of the bone that broke was growing out my jaw and into my cheek. And he was blown away that I was there. He's like, I don't see how you're functioning this way. This has to have been killing you for at least 2 weeks. And I said, well, it is. That's why I've been dissolving aspirin on my tooth to help alleviate the pain. I did not know this. Aspirin can burn the inside of your mouth when you do that. So the nurse, when she looked at me, she thought I had thrush or something like that. But it turned out I was just burned from the aspirin. So basically, he gave me 4 shots in the mouth and went in there with basically like a Dremel tool and just ground it out. And I didn't feel anything. It wasn't painful. And then I went back to the truck. My load didn't pick up till this morning, so I was able to rest all day yesterday. I did take a lot of phone calls, people that were concerned, wondering how I was doing. And really, because of the stuff they gave me at the dental office, I was fine. They made sure and not give me anything that would interfere with me being a truck driver, nothing, no anesthesia or anything like that. And as far as pain meds, um, because of me being a truck driver and my high pain tolerance, he suggested either acetaminophen or ibuprofen. So I took 3 ibuprofen last night. I haven't had to take any today. I felt it a little more today, but I expect to be fine now. It's nice to have all that behind me and be out here able to do this. I still got a little bit of a sore throat. He said don't take aspirin under any circumstances for a while. And so I'm going to lay off the aspirin and just do that ibuprofen. All right, now, next subject we need to talk about, and I'll get to your comments as quick as I can. The last show was a little bit of a train wreck. Honestly, I don't remember a lot of it because I was in so much pain. But we had a guy on there that I've been emailing back and forth with that I really upset him. And so I want to talk about him briefly tonight, and then we'll move on to other subject. It's been a week for everybody attacking me. So ironically, before we get into this, his name is Christian as well. So if you're here and your first name is Christian and you're a truck driver, I'm probably going to offend you at some point. Just get ready for it. Now, this guy in the last video on Tuesday, I called him a troll. After talking to him in an email, or in multiple emails, probably about 12 emails, I've determined he was not a troll. He was misinformed. There is a difference. And I don't think he came in with malice or trying to do harm. But some of the information he gave was incorrect. He was promoting the Prime fuel card and for Prime Inc. He does not work at Prime Inc. He works for another company. I believe as a company driver. I might be wrong about that. And so he's able to see what they pay Prime for fuel. And he did not realize that the numbers he was quoting were adjusted minus taxes and things like that. It was what they called a net cost. And he did apologize for that. He did apologize for the way he came across in the video. And I apologized to him and apologize now publicly for calling him a troll. I disagree with a lot of what he said, but I don't consider him a troll. Just somebody that doesn't agree with me, which is fine. Everybody has a right to be wrong. I'm joking. Calm down, everybody. So he did say something, though, that kind of got under my skin, and I want to talk about that for a second. He said, Todd, you're a lot different than I thought. He said, I thought you were out here to help the drivers. Okay, let's talk about that. I think where the definition of help comes in is where we've got the problem. If you're struggling at a company and you want help on how to make more money, how to buy fuel better, how to trip plan better, things like that, I'm your guy. If you're struggling at a company and you're wanting to get referral bonuses so you can work less and make more money, whether it's a good company or not, then I'm not your guy. This is not Craigslist. This is not Facebook Marketplace. This is my YouTube channel. And it's a news and opinion channel. And unfortunately, it's my news and my opinion with some input from a lot of my good friends. Now, when I'm sitting on here giving a testimonial about a fuel card that I feel like is been really good to me, then that's what it is. It's my opinion about a fuel card that I've had good luck with. If you want to stop the show and talk about a private fuel card that you can only get if you work for this one company, then that's not cool. Start your own channel and do that. Now, if I'm doing a show and the topic is trucking companies with great fuel discounts, then by all means, tell us all about it. But what we've got is a couple of people in here that they just want to come on here and promote themselves, their YouTube channel, their whatever. And sometimes we do that, but we do it in a structured way. Email me, let's talk about it, and things like that. Let's not hijack the show for your personal gain. Now, another thing, uh, if you've got something to sell, this is not Craigslist. And I want to make that really, really clear. Well, you just don't want to help drivers. You're different than I thought. No, you want to know where to buy fuel, how to buy fuel. You want me to look at your settlement and tell you where I think you can improve? Send it to me. I do it all the time. But if you think my definition of helping you is letting you take over the show and do whatever you want, then that's not going to work. And I'm going to have to get tougher, I guess. I'm a nice guy and my fuses got really long, but people try to mistake my kindness for weakness and they try to run over me. And I've got to get back control of some of that. So some of these banana heads that's been running crazy on here, I'm going to rein that in just a little bit. And another comment I got this week that I want to talk about. Several people, well, Todd, if this is hard or that's hard, you should just quit. If YouTube's hard, just quit YouTube. Maybe permanently, maybe for a few months. If driving a truck's hard, just quit. If being an owner operator's hard, just quit. If your marriage is hard, just quit. Just quit it all. I want to talk about that too real quick. The reason some of you have the problems you have in your life, some of you banana heads, is because that's what you do. When the going gets tough, you quit. And maybe we all need to do a little self-analysis here and see if that's what our problem is. Does YouTube ever get difficult? Absolutely. Absolutely. When people are calling me at 3 a.m. wanting advice on stupid things, do you think I should put 110 pounds of air in my tire or 115? And it's 3 a.m. Yeah, save that question for the next day and call me. Something like that. But, oh boy, I got wound up on this. But to say that every time something gets difficult or challenging, I should just quit, I should just give up, is ridiculous. Ridiculous. And another thing, one guy emailed me and he pointed out some stuff true, some stuff not true, all the perceived failures in my life for the past, I don't know, 5-10 years. Some of the stuff was pure made up, but it fit the narrative he wanted it to fit. And so he's like, you need to go be a company driver. Basically, maybe not even drive a truck at all. You just suck at life in general. Your YouTube channel's terrible. Your truck driving's terrible. You've had this bad experience. You've had that bad experience. You should just give up completely. Why do you think I give such great advice? Look, folks, I want you to think about it like this. In the military, how do they clear landmines? They send guys out in front that have special machinery that detects where they're at, and then they disarm them, usually implode them so that they don't get the troops. The way I'm able to give good advice is that I've made a lot of mistakes, and it's no secret on here. I've told you guys what the mistakes are as I make them. And to say that the only person that can give advice or the only person that can be a leader is somebody that's never made a mistake in their life, well, we're out of luck, because there's only been one of those, and he died on a cross approximately 2,000 years ago. So you guys, I mean, I normally don't like to shine lights on cockroaches, and these guys love it when I mention them on here, because it helps their channel. If I was to give you these guys' name, their channel would blow up. They'd get 400 or 500 more views than they usually do. But we're not going to do that. We're going to leave the banana heads in the dark. They can think what they want to, and we're going to move on with the show. But hopefully I've cleared this up. And if you guys got any questions, we can go over it. I'm seeing in the comments that some of it didn't come through. So if you got any questions, I'd be happy to recover any of these subjects. Let's go back to the start and say hi to first one in here today. It would be Adam, my good friend. He says first one in from the tractor. He said it's Thursday and he's already at 50 hours. So if you're paid hourly, you're going to have a good week. Roger Berry, channel member, is here. And Blue Shadow said, dang it, y'all are dedicated. Guess I'm third. Yeah, you know, everybody thinks it's pandering or kissing up, but I got the best audience of any YouTuber. You guys are devoted, and most of you have my back, and I appreciate that. Robbie Ross, channel member. Hiya, friends from Colorado City, Texas. Headed back to Phoenix. I actually lived in Colorado City for a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, and nice little town. Glad you could make it in here, my friend. Gary Cook, channel member. I'll be driving but listening, going through Birmingham, Alabama, on my way to Statesville, North Carolina. By the way, if any of y'all didn't hear my little rant at the start of the show, tell me where it cut out and I'll jump back into it, because what I said tonight's real important and it needs to be thrown out there. A trucker named Tim, channel member, stopped by to say hi. Got to be up early, so won't make it tonight. Have a great show. Thank you, my friend. Hopefully you can catch the replay. Skyhook Trucker says, here listening while I'm driving. Hi, all. Hello, sir. And Skyhook Trucker channel member also says, hey, Tim. I think Tim was already gone. Blue Shadow. Say, when we get this party started, what's y'all's opinion on the 12-speed automatic that Peterbilt uses? I'm looking at a used 2019 579. As far as my opinion goes, I like the 12-speed in the PACCARs, the Peterbilts, the Kenworths. I still prefer a manual transmission in most cases, but yeah, I think as automatics go, it's a pretty good transmission. You guys might remember at DART, while I was waiting on my new Peterbilt, they had me in a 2019 Kenworth that had that 12-speed automatic, and I did have some issues with it, but it ended up being covered under warranty. So since then, I've driven, not droven. Good Lord, who taught me English? I've driven several automatics and from the PACCAR division, and they seem to be pretty solid, in my opinion. Maybe a few more people in here will have some takes on it. Trucking with Fly Rabbits here for any questions. Good evening, Todd and the Gorilla Gang. So last week, people were asking about his sign-on bonus. He did get a sign-on bonus, and it's paid out over 6 months. Just started at Schneider with an SFI truck, and he's doing a whole video series on it. If you're interested in that, get with him, and he'll answer all your questions. P.U. Patel, channel member. Good evening, Todd. Hope you're doing better than you were on Tuesday. Yeah, I'm still a little sore, but I'm a lot better. It instantly felt better in the doctor's office when he ground that off. Instantly. By far the best dentist I've ever been to. Blue Shadow, my screen froze up plumb, and now it's looks like it started over. You may have a signal issue on that end, but you'll catch us pretty quick. Mud Trucking, hey, Brother Todd, hope everything is going good for you. Yes, sir. I got my rant out of the way, and I'm feeling a lot better. Did a little bit of venting. And let's see here. Roger Berry, channel member. Anyone north on I-75 in Tennessee, the top of Jellicoe Mountain traffic is at a dead stop. Wonder what's going on up there, construction or accident? Tonight, I am in Wyoming on my way to Midlothian, Texas. I've got a whopping 2 pallets on my trailer for a total weight of 3,400 pounds. So instead of doing 66 like I normally do, I've bumped it up to 70, 73. And yeah, it's nice to pull a light load. It's not too fun in Wyoming in the wind, but the rest of the time it's nice to have a light load. I've been pulling a lot of heavy stuff the last few months. It's nice to switch it up. And I know when I get the other end, I should be unloaded pretty quick with only 2 pallets. Adam says, Trucker Todd for president. I don't know about that. I got a lot of haters out there. Lots of haters. And I'd be a terrible politician because I tell the truth. All right, we're caught up in the comments, so let me put that back up there so that you guys can see the website. Let me remind y'all, while you're here, you might as well give me a thumbs up. Right below the video, there's a little thumb there. Hit that thumbs up. If you hate my guts, hit the thumbs down. I don't care. Share this video on your social media platforms and make sure you're subscribed. A lot of you think, oh, I subscribed a year ago, so I'm probably still subscribed. YouTube likes to do a lot of hocus pocus. So you need to check and make sure that you are subscribed, that you are receiving notifications, things like that. While you're there, if you click on the title, a bunch of other great information drops down about how you can be a bigger part of the channel, how you can get a hold of me, how you can get the Bluetooth headset I recommend, that ES Advantage fuel card that almost always starts a fight when I mention it on here. There's even a $10 discount code if you want to get Mudflap for your fuel purchases. So check all those things out. You'll be glad you did, and I'll be glad you did. And there we go. So hopefully that gave y'all time to type some comments. Let's see what else is here. P.U. Patel says light loads are music to my ears. Yeah, mine too, unless it's snowing. Then I want all the weight I can get. Roger Berry, channel member. I think it's construction. Some of those potholes are big enough for their own zip codes. Exactly. Yeah, the roads are just getting, bad everywhere. I don't guess they're getting bad. They've been bad, but it just seems like I'm noticing it a lot more. Edward Soto is here from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Glad to have you, sir. And, you know, what's funny is, well, here, let me get this next comment and then I'll say it. Channel member Robbie Ross, haters. Sleepy Joe Biden has haters. By the way, I was thinking, have you ever saw Jeff Dunham? The character Walter looks like Joe. Yeah, it does. And a lot of people have pointed that out. Jeff Dunham is my second favorite comedian, right behind John Panette, who died a few years ago. But I really like John Panette, and Jeff Dunham is right there behind him. Jose Jalapeno is hilarious. But anyway, talking about haters, I'd really hoped they'd be in here tonight because, you know, I don't want to rabbit punch. I don't want to take shots at them when they're not here to defend themselves. And, you know, if I've got it all wrong, like the one guy felt in the emails, and he knew I was going to be on tonight, I said, well, come on tonight. I'm going to talk about it. And he's not here. I'd hoped he'd be here. Maybe he's working, can't be here. But anyway, I think he just commented, so we'll get to his comment here in just a second. P.U. Patel, I haven't used Mudflap in a while. Are you still able to use it with the app only, or do you need to get the card? You can use it with the app only, or I was able to last time I tried, but I rarely use it. Most of the time, I use my company card for convenience. I've been using the ES Advantage. I'm trying to work it back in my rotation. Use it about once a week right now. And then Mudflap comes in when I'm out of network. Like if I don't have anything in the area for company card and I don't have anything in the area for my ES Advantage, then I'll get on there and see what they got. Or if I'll tell you another time it comes in handy. If the company card, which is NASTIC, doesn't have a discount at that location, a lot of times it's also a Mudflap location and they'll have, you know, 30 cents a gallon or whatever off. And so I'll check it out then. But Man, if I was you guys, seriously, I would sign up just for the $10 in free fuel. Buy one tank, and then if you don't ever want to use it again, you don't have to. There's no contract or commitment where you got to use it. All right, let's get into it. Here we go. Living with grace. Haters always mean you're doing something right. I hope so. You know, I would just say this: if the Tuesday night video offended anybody, remember I was in immense pain, and it was the night before I was having dental surgery. So it's very possible that something I said was taken out of context. It's very possible that um, I didn't mean what I said, or I would have said it differently if I wasn't in pain. But yeah, that's what I would say about that. Like I said, I don't remember most of Tuesday night, but there was one guy, and by the way, before everybody jumps on me, it was not living with grace that I'm talking about here. There was another guy that sent me a horribly mean email about what a failure and screw up I am. And so that was the main one I wanted to get to tonight. But living with grace, I do, as I stated at the start of the show, I don't think he's a troll. I do think he was mistaken, not realizing that the taxes were not included in that. But I think in hindsight, he was trying to help. We do share a lot of information on here, and I think his heart was in the right place. I would have liked to have seen it handled better, and he and I have talked about that, and I think he knows how I would have liked to have seen it gone now. And so hopefully we won't have any more problems along that line. Channel member Robbie Ross, I sometimes use Mudflap when I buy DEF. Do you get, this is going to make me sound dumb. I don't know. This for Robbie Ross or anybody else that knows. Does anybody know of a fuel card that you get a discount on DEF? I don't think too many people focus on it because you're only usually buying, 15 gallons or so. But does anybody know of a fuel card that you get a discount on DEF? I know Cash is King talks about there's somewhere that he always buys his DEF. I think it's a Road Ranger or something where he gets like a ridiculous discount on it. And I've been wanting to question him about that and get a little more information, but just curious if any of you know of a discount card for DEF. Shane Lee, hello, Mr. Todd. How are you doing? I just came back from a 3-week vacation. That's what I need, a 3-week vacation. I'm doing all right now. Jaw is still recovering, throat still hurts, but I think by Tuesday I'll be back in rare form. I think I'm going to be giving some stuff away on Tuesday too. So you guys make sure you're here for the Tuesday show. It's nothing big, but I will have some stuff to give away on Tuesday. And I can already hear the naysayers. I will get criticized for this giveaway, but I don't care. We're going to do it anyway. Life on 18 Wheels. Will you be at Matt's? I'm set up to be. I've got the media credentials and everything to be there as an influencer. But as we approach it, it's looking less and less likely. As we speak, I'm working my way back to Lubbock. I've got to do some repairs on the truck, some moderate repairs, let's call them. I just got off the phone with my son prior to the show. He's offered to let me do it at his shop, and he's offered to assist in some degree. I don't know. It'll depend on his free time, how much time he's got available, but he hasn't seen this truck yet, and so he said, bring it by here and we'll take a look at it. And he's a little scared because every time my trucks go to his shop, a bunch of bad stuff happens to him. If you guys remember, that's where I took the Kenworth that we got the air leak, and then they messed up the tank. And so there's still a slim chance I'll be at Matt's. also the guy that was going to help me do camera stuff for me and stuff like that, he just found out he may not be able to go either. He's got something scheduled at that time that conflicts with it. So I may be flying solo when I get there, or another guy that ran the camera last year, he may be there this year. He's not sure yet either. So I may be looking for a camera person if I am able to go. But it's probably going to be what they call a game time decision. I may not even know till the week of Mats. It just depends how the next few weeks go, but and how big that repair turns out to be. But I can tell you it's not very likely I'm going to get to go at this point. Hey, Mud Trucker just gifted one Trucker Todd membership. So for those that don't know, YouTube selects who will get that Trucker Todd membership. It's not me. It's not Mud Trucker, but it'll tell me here in a second who got it, and I will share that information with you. Hey, my good friend Adam got the Trucker Todd membership. He's now a part of the Gorilla Gang. So thank you to Mud Trucking for doing that, and congratulations to Adam for winning that. QT always has DEF cheaper than the major truck stops. Also a mom and pop truck stop in New Mexico, close to the Arizona state line, has DEF under $3 a gallon. That was Robbie Ross, channel member. Okay. That's been when I use the company fuel card, the NASTIC card. It has a pretty strict network. When I use my ES Advantage, you can go anywhere that EFS is accepted. So that's nice to know. I won't be over in New Mexico this trip. Well, I say that I may be in it briefly, but not down where you're talking about. And I agree with you. I like to stop at the mom and pops. They're just getting harder and harder to find. The food's better, the prices are cheaper, things like that. John Fuller, tough week on the DAP board in the Southeast. Most paying $1.40 to $1.50. Is truck stop load board better? I'll have to defer this question to everybody else in the audience. I use the DAP board myself, and I was up in the northwest part of the country, Montana up there, and I was experiencing the same thing. Horrible rates. This week for dry van spot market rates, the average I think was $1.83 or $1.86. So that's tough, and you have to keep in mind in those averages, they're factoring in the short ones too, the 50-mile loads that pay, $10 a mile or whatever, $5 a mile, along with the 2,500-mile ones that pay $1 a mile. So yeah, it's tough right now. And that's what I was talking about at the start of the show. People saying, well, you're always crying about how tough it is. Why don't you just quit? Why don't you just become a company driver? Well, because I don't quit every time the going gets tough. And I believe it's going to get better in the next couple of weeks. I'm an optimist. I don't sit around, writing country songs and crying in my beer about how tough things are. I find a way to make it. Okay, channel member Robbie Ross said that truck stop that he was talking about with the cheap DEF is on Interstate 10 on the New Mexico. Let's see if I can find. Is it on the New Mexico Arizona border? Is that what you were saying? Yeah. Yeah, on the New Mexico Arizona border at Interstate 10. So if y'all are in that area and need DEF, Robbie Ross goes through there a lot, living in Phoenix, and he says that's where he likes to stop and get it. Channel member Adams, our new channel member Adam, says, thank you, Mud Trucking. Yes, sir. Thank you very much for doing that. That's awesome. We got some really good guys in here that really support the channel and keep it going. And That's why I laugh when people are like, well, if you're busy right now, just cancel the show for a couple of months till things get better. Just don't do a show for 6 months. And it's like, I'm not going to do that to, I mean, some of you, when I had my tooth pulled and when I had this dental stuff done yesterday, you were really worried about me. You were calling, texting, hey, Todd, are you okay? Do you need anything? It's not fair to you guys to just disappear on you like that. And I enjoy doing this. Do I have to cancel a show sometimes? Yeah. One guy messaged me. He said, hey, Todd, you may want to pull down all your community posts where you say the show's going to be late tonight or you're not going to be able to do a show tonight because sponsors may see that and sponsors uh, may not want to do business with you. And his heart was in the right place. He meant well. And I said, no, I don't take stuff down. I said, the people that want to deal with me, they deal with me because I'm honest and they know what I do. They're not worried about the times I don't do a show. They're worried about how many people watch and how many people trust what I'm saying. Daryl says, just started watching at the Pilot in Muskogee, Oklahoma. You may want to go back and watch the start of the video. I went off on a little bit of a rant. But I'm glad you're here, Daryl. That Pilot is one I'm very familiar with. Right up the street from Sucks for You. Oh, I meant Trucks for You. Sorry about that. Russell Freight Services heading out to North Dakota. ES Advantage gave me an EFS card. Oh, wow. That's great. That's great. Do me a favor since we've got some naysayers in here. Let me know when you use your ES Advantage card what kind of savings you're noticing monthly or weekly or whatever. Um, I said I said that when I was using it regularly, I was saving about 1,300 a month, and since then, several people have come on and go, "Oh no, Todd, that's not true. I'm saving 1,600 a month." So it's nice when you other guys notice it and talk about it, and so they see it's not just me. But yeah, I'm very happy with that card. A lot of people forget about the free drink refills, the free showers. A lot of people forget that you can use it as a maintenance account. You can build up an account and use it for maintenance. So, and there's also, I've used this before. You get shop discounts at certain shops and things like that. So, and it's pretty substantial. So, there's a lot of benefits to that card. Also, before I go to the next comment, uh, Skyhook Trucker was talking to me last night and today. He's got some more Trucker Todd tuggers coming out that are a totally different style. His email is in the little ticker going across the bottom of the screen. And so if y'all are interested in any of that kind of stuff, just email him, tell him what you're looking for. If you want to see pictures of the new ones, he's going to mail me some I can show you. But in the meantime, the fastest way for you to get yours is just email him at that link. Also, you guys know that for the most part, I'm really happy working here at SRO Logistics. If you've got your own truck and you'd like to come over here and join me, um, Scott's email is in the description or in the little ticker as well. It's safety at srologistics.com. So my email's there, my website's there. Y'all check all those things out. And just a lot of great information is available to you if you'll take the time to look at it. Mud Trucker said, you're welcome, talking to Adam about gifting the membership. Also, if you want to gift a membership, down by where you put a comment, there's a little $sign. If you click on that, it'll tell you how to gift memberships. Russell said the old cards had fraud problems. I'm going to get fuel in Kansas City, Missouri for $3.29 discounted. That's awesome. What's the pump price in Kansas City? How much are you saving? PU Patel, channel member Trucker Todd, did you get your APU fixed? No, but it hadn't been for not trying. The only thing wrong with it is I believe the fuel filters are dirty, and so it needs to be serviced. And it's time for an oil change anyway. And I use a full synthetic oil in it. I've got the oil in the truck here. But as you guys know, there's only like 2 or 3 Thermo Kings in the country that are open on the weekends. And I was out in the middle of nowhere in Montana where there was no Thermo Kings around. And so it's just been a convenience issue. Now I'm so close to Lubbock where I've got a good relationship with that Thermo King dealer that I'm just going to take it there and get it done. But no, I can use it in short spurts. For example, the other day I left the truck off a little long and the batteries weren't turning over the truck, so I cranked the APU to build the batteries back up for about 30 minutes. But yeah, when I get to Lubbock, the APU is one of the things we plan on getting worked on, and it'll be at that Thermo King dealer that I know and trust the guys there. And I'll probably get some more Trucker Todd hats. Well, they're Thermo King hats, but they're given to Trucker Todd. Channel member Robbie Ross got 2 drinks today at Love's. I like my freebies. Yeah, I got my little mug up here, and I do the same thing. And it doesn't have to be a soft drink. It can be coffee. It can be tea. And so a lot of people don't realize what they spend on drinks every week, and that feature alone can save you some money. Okay, here we go. Russell said the pump price was $3.94 at the Loves in Kansas City, and he is getting his diesel for, let me scroll back up, $3.29. So as you can see, there's a pretty big savings there. $3.29, 60 something cents. That means on 150 gallons, he saves like 90 something dollars. Here's another one for you guys. Channel member Robbie Ross paid $3.06 at Love's in Dallas on Polk Street, $3.68 pump price. Yeah, so 62 cents savings. Again, saving 90 something dollars on that tank. And hey, I know what some of you naysayers are saying. Oh, well, that Love's is terrible. It's small. It's hard to get into. Yeah, but if you can save $90, 2 or 3 times a week fueling up, think of how much that is a month. Think of how much that is a year. It's the pennies that make dollars. And if you can save, 60 something cents a gallon on a tank, it adds up over the course of the year. I don't know if you've tried. I had APU service at TA in the past. Yeah, actually, you're gonna think this is funny. That comment came from Living with Grace. There's actually a TA shop about 200 yards in front of me. And I was here the other day and I went in there and asked the service writer there if she could do an APU service. It was on a weekend. I said, I don't want to wait till Monday for filters because I had a delivery to make. Do you have the filters to do an APU service? She didn't know what an APU was. She's like, what kind of truck is it again? I said, an APU. Hang on a second. She put me on hold, went and asked it was a phone call. I wasn't in there. Never mind. I'm saying that wrong. Anyway, she comes back. She goes, no, I don't have the filters for an APU. So that's the problem. In the past, like you said, I used to get the way I used to do it before I knew what I was doing. Every other oil change, I got my APU serviced at the same time I did my truck at a TA. And that seemed to work real well. And now I'm finding that a lot of the TA and Petros, they'll do an APU, but they don't like to, and most of them don't have the filters. And like I say, I've been up here in Montana and Wyoming, and there's just not a lot of, there's not a lot of TA and Petros with shops. I stayed at the one in Laurel, Montana last night. They don't have a shop. There's one up here at something corner. I can't think of the town in Colorado I'm going through. There's that Petro. There's something corner, and they don't have Johnson's Corner, I think it is. They don't have a shop there either. So it's just the further south I go, the easier it's going to be to get done. And I'll be home like Tuesday or Wednesday. So that'll be a good time to address that situation. New change. ES made is money on their 15 to 30 minutes after loading money. Is that with an ACH or a debit card, or is that only with a debit card? Because if that's with an ACH, that's awesome. I always do the ACH to save the percentage. That came from Russell Freight Services. Robbie Ross, channel member. I always share my fuel savings. Ain't no BS. Plus my fuel surcharge, 40 cents. It all adds up. Yeah, and the company, I don't know if he wants me saying the company that channel member Robbie Ross works at, but the company that he works for has a pretty decent fuel discount on their company card. And that plus the ES Advantage card plus Mudflap gives him a lot of options. He can look at all of those and compare. And there may be times that his company has the best discount. Maybe times that ES Advantage has the best discount. Maybe times that Mudflap has the discount. But as he does that, the more he compares and shops, the more money he's going to save. This is channel member Robbie Ross telling Russell they raised the rate on the percentage. Yes, they did a little bit. They claim the rates went up on them and they didn't have a choice, but it's still a good deal. Russell Freight Services said that's on debit or credit cards. He doesn't know about ACH. I'd be surprised if they did it on ACH because they need to wait on it to clear your bank for obvious reasons. But I never do the credit or debit just because you can save, 30 or 40 or $50, maybe more, depending on how much you're loading at a time. But so me being the cheapskate that I am, I try to do it on ACH and try to plan where I can. Desert Okie Pam says, good evening, Todd. Wow, Desert Okie Pam is here. She also works, well, she may not want me to say where she works, but she got me on at the company I'm at now. I got a lot of questions for her. She drives a really nice International from what I hear. And I got some questions about that truck. Just general stuff. She may just want to put it in the comments about what kind of fuel economy she gets and things like that. Not for my personal use, but I got that guy that he just bought him an SFI International, and that way I can relay information over to him. That's how I help, by the way, folks. It's not by helping you sell your couch or finding a good home for your dog or coming over and mowing your yard on Saturday. That's not how I help you. The way I help you is by offering you advice. Should you buy this truck or that truck, or you're getting this fuel economy on that truck? Is that what you should be getting? Or your settlements are this much with this company. Is that right? Or is there something you could tweak a little bit to make more money? That's how we provide help. Or you got a question about this company. Can I ask the audience if they know anything about that company? It's not that I help you with your garage sale or whatever. Robbie Ross, channel member, I don't hide from where I work at. Okay, then. So the place I was talking about where Robbie Ross, channel member, gets a pretty good fuel discount on his company card is Dart Transit. That's actually where he and I met. He saw my videos and went to Dart, and I don't want to speak for him. I think he's pretty happy there. And So that's the key, and it's really irrelevant where you work. If you get a company fuel card, compare it to ES Advantage, compare it to Mudflap when you're trip planning, and do the very cheapest of whichever card gives you the best discounts. They're all going to have their strong and weak points. They're all going to have parts of the country where they're great and parts of the country where they're not so great. You can have a Loves card that'll give you a great discount in a lot of places, but you get up in the Northeast and there's not a lot of Loves up there. Channel member Gary Cook, how many are watching the President's State of the Union speech? If we get out of here in time, I'll listen to it while I drive. I'm going to be driving tonight. P.U. Patel, channel member Trucker Todd, what do you think about the SFI lease? There's things I like about it and things I don't like about it. And I've been real honest about this. I've debated some of y'all on it. I think it's a little expensive. They've made some improvements to it. The thing that sticks out in my mind, and I talked about it on a video recently, is when I went to F2F, I had the truck that was paid off and that I paid cash for. And the dispatcher, we went out to lunch together, and she said, Todd, you're so lucky to have a paid off truck. She said, I cringe every time I see an SFI truck here because they always complain that they're struggling, that it's hard to make it. Having said that, the SFI trucks are very nice. They're pretty well equipped, so I understand why they're a little pricey. The problem's not the, $1,300-$1,400 a week truck payment. That's not the problem. The problem is when your wife says, hey, we've got this going on, I need you to take 4 or 5 days off. Or the problem is when your truck breaks down and it goes in the shop and they go, oh, you need a def level sensor and they're on back order for 6 weeks or 3 weeks. Yeah, they'll get you a loaner truck. Yeah, but it's still, you're digging a hole. And, or the problem is, this is a big one that gets a lot of people. If you've got a trip that delivers after the cutoff and you're going to get paid on it for the next week. So they still want their money on Friday, and they will hit your bank account. I've heard guys say it if they can't draft it out of your settlement. After that, they'll call you, try to work something out with you. But, if you have to roll that money over to the next week, then it's just that much harder. And so, I mean, that lease is there for some people. I'm not saying I would never do one, but I'm saying that I would look for other options before I did that. Now they do some promotions sometimes that make it a pretty good deal, especially if you want to work for Schneider. I don't like that they charge a fee if you want to move the truck to a different company. I'll give you an example. If when I lost the Kenworth, I called them because I know some people over at SFI, and I needed a truck bad. My number one goal was to stay with Scott at SRO Logistics, and so I was willing to do just about anything, take just about any truck. And they said because it was a small company, they wanted $8,500 down because they had never done business with SRO. It's a small company, so for $8,500 down, there's a lot better options available to me. But if I was in a tough spot, if I'd had, something on my credit or something in my past that prevented me from getting another truck anywhere else, then yeah, I would look at SFI. It's definitely not the worst deal out there. Channel member Robbie Ross talking to Gary. Joe's speech starts in a little over an hour. It's going to be comic genius. He's going to ramble and stutter, and it'll be funny. I think a lot of us are going to watch it if I can, if I'm not on the phones. I already know I've got 2 pressing phone calls that I've got to make after the show, so I may be on the phone during that time. But I probably what I should do, let me just do that now. I probably should just go ahead and record it, and then I can watch it when it suits me. Does anybody know what channel it's going to be on? I'll just record it real quick. Oh, it's going to be a big old hassle. I don't have it hooked to the Wi-Fi. Now, see, this is what y'all watch the show for. This is quality entertainment right here. Watching me fight with my TV. That might be a better idea. I'll just record it and then I'll watch it later. All right, almost done. I'm going to guess it's going to be, it'll probably be on Fox and CNN and all that, won't it? Let me go ahead and mute it so I don't get another copyright strike. Almost there, folks. Then we'll rapid fire your questions and get caught up. This gives some of you slow typers time to get your comments in there too. There it is. Record. All right, I'm recording it, so I will get to see it at some point, theoretically. That is correct. Russell and Robbie work at the same company. Robbie Ross, channel member. Well, I wasn't happy today, LOL. Yeah, that's okay though. There's going to be days that you're not going to be happy at any company. Has there ever been a day that I was frustrated with SRO Logistics or with Scott? Yeah, probably. Has there ever been a day where he was frustrated with me? Absolutely. It's like a marriage. I don't care how perfect your wife is. At some point, you're going to have a disagreement, something that you don't agree on, but you just work it out. And Robbie Ross is really good at that. I mean, he starts firing off text messages and emails, and he usually gets a pretty positive result over there. So he doesn't do like some of my detractors say. He doesn't just quit when it gets tough. He hangs in there and finds a solution. And so, Robbie, next time they make you mad, just quit. Just give up on everything. If you go home and the repairs aren't done on your house, just let it foreclose. That's what my detractors think you should do. And channel member Robbie Ross gives Russell the thumbs up. Channel member Gary Cook, Todd, will you help me sell my mother? Oh, I got to tell y'all something funny about that before I answer that question. Earlier today, I was doing voice to text to somebody, and I said something like, I don't remember what it was. Anyway, it changed the words to me calling that guy an idiot. And it was nothing like that. And I was glad I caught it before I sent it. That voice to text, it tries to get you in a fight with somebody. And I told you all the story about me telling the guy that asking him how his mom was doing because she'd been in the hospital. And it changed it to I wanted to do something with his mom in a hospital. And I was glad I caught that. But I told him about it and we had a good laugh about it. So Gary Cook wants to know if I'll help him sell his mother. Forgive me, Gary. What's your mom look like? I'm joking, Gary. And Robbie Ross, channel member, corrects me. He is correct. We actually did meet at Roadrunner. Hard to believe we've been friends that long. That's going on. Gosh, when did we work at Roadrunner? 4 or 5 years ago? It's got to be at least 4 years ago. And then he came to Dart with me. Life on 18 wheels. Which lease is better in your opinion? SFI, Swift, or Dart? Very tough question. because there's a lot of things you've got to factor in there. Uh, some of it, quite frankly, is where you live, how often you want to go home, what you like to do, what you don't like to do, things like that. I've never worked at Schneider, and I've never leased an SFI truck. I've researched it and done some videos on them because people asked me to. You guys know that I loved it at Swift, made enough money there to pay cash for a truck. And, I'll always have a fairly high opinion of Swift. They're not perfect, but I know some guys over there right now that are struggling. So some of it depends where you live, how you like to run, things like that. Dart will always have a soft spot in my heart. Everybody knows that I like Dart, even though that I've had some issues with a couple of their shops. Ellenwood and Lancaster are the main ones. Other than that, I really like Dart. So uh, SFI I can't really comment on because I haven't personally done it. Swift and Dart, they're both great, and you won't catch me saying a lot of bad about either one. But I'll tell you this too, though. Once you've ran the spot market and picked your own loads and dispatched yourself and things like that, it's really, really, really hard to go do anything else. I mean, for those guys that say, "Oh, Todd, you should just go get a company job. You'd have a lot more free time. You could do your videos and things like that." I've got a local job right now. I could be home every other day. I enjoy what I'm doing. And let me address one more thing that I didn't get covered in the rant earlier. That guy, not the one that was in here earlier, but the guy that was saying all the things about me that I should just give up on everything. He said, "You're never going to get rich doing YouTube." Well, let me clear the air right now. I never started YouTube with the goal of getting rich. Uh, the guy, he's probably not in here no more, Fly Rabbit, that talked me into doing these lives. You can ask him. My goal was to get 100 subscribers. Some of the guys that's known me a long time, Randy's Road Life, I said, I'll be shocked if I get 100 subscribers. I never started YouTube with the goal of getting rich. That's not my motivation. My motivation was to help people, and I've already accomplished that. I could walk away from YouTube right now and be happy and content with my life because I know that I've helped a lot of people, and I get noticed at truck stops and thanked pretty regularly for the stuff and the contributions and things like that. So, you know, I laughed when he said that because uh, are there people that get rich off of YouTube? Yeah, but it's not going to be me, or maybe it will be, but that's not my goal. I'm just going to keep doing the right thing and helping as many people as I can. But I'm not going to turn it into Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or the little magazines you get at truck stops that advertise every company out there. If you want to come on here and promote your company, we're going to talk off air, and I'm going to research your company, and I'm going to ask you questions about it, just like I was a prospective driver wanting to work there. There's not going to be any gotcha questions, and I'm not going to harp on the bad stuff your company has, because every company has bad stuff. But we're not just going to come in here and take over a show promoting your company because you can't make it as a driver, and you're hoping I can get you some referral bonuses. Adam, channel member, heard that now on your CDL pre-trip test, you can use a check sheet to remember what to look for. Well, there's a much easier way to do it. They taught us this. I want to say at truck driving school, but then Swift also taught us this. They said when you come out of the truck stop from getting your coffee, start by looking under the truck, seeing if you got any leaks or anything hanging down or anything like that, and then walk around the truck starting at the top and working your way down. And if you do that, you'll pretty much cover everything. Start at the top and work your way down. Make sure your lights are working. Nobody's backed into you. Make sure nothing's hanging off your truck or trailer. Make sure your mirrors and everything are tight. Make sure all your lights work. Make sure your horns work. Make sure your wipers work, your defroster, all of that. Just, I think after you've been doing it for a while, you get a routine to where you don't miss things. But sure, initially when you're beginning, I think a checklist is a great idea. I've said this before. I don't think anybody wants to drive unsafe equipment. I do think there's some people that are too lazy to check their equipment, but I don't think anybody hops behind the wheel of their truck and goes, "Man, I hope my truck is dangerous today. I hope I have brake failure. I hope my lights quit working. I hope I'm a safety hazard." I think everybody wants to be safe out here. I think some people are just too lazy to be safe. Channel member Gary Cook with the PSA, daylight savings time begins this weekend. Yeah, for me, the only clock in the truck that doesn't auto change is my microwave, and it's wrong most of the time anyway. So I'll be in good shape, but make sure if you've got a weekend delivery, that you don't show up too early or too late because you didn't factor in the time change. Trucking with the Fly Rabbit. I'm here, and that's true. I have the international engine, 826, averaging 8 miles per gallon, but I've been running 70, 75, and 40K a lot. It does better with 35K or less loads, running 65, 68. Got over 9 with 8,000 pounds, Arizona to Mississippi. Yeah, this is going way back to my Trucks for You days. I had an international with an 826, and it was a great truck. The only thing I didn't like about it was it had that 10-speed automatic, and when you put it in reverse, it would jerk real bad. And I went into the safety office and I said, "Hey, we got to do something with this truck, or I'm going to have an accident a backing accident at one of the warehouses." And the safety guy is like, "What's wrong?" And I told him about it. And he said, "Can you show me?" And I said, "Sure." We got out in the truck and I backed a trailer into a spot, and he felt it. And he's like, "Oh yeah, this is dangerous." So he sent me over to the international dealer in Muskogee, and he said, "Do whatever Todd tells you to do to fix it." He said, "I don't want it to jerk like that. Make whatever changes you got to make to the truck." And they couldn't figure it out either, and so they sent an email, and I forget what they called it, a service bulletin or something, to international corporate, and was trying to get a resolution for it. But other than that, I love the truck. I love the layout of the sleeper of an international. The A26 had good power. It was reliable. It was efficient, like you're saying. So I think somebody, I don't know where, I saw a picture of your truck somewhere. It may have been when you emailed me. Seems like you have a picture of it next to your name or something. But it looked like a nice truck, and I was just kind of wondering about it. Thank you for that information. So there you go, Fly Rabbit. There's you some international information. Uh, he's empty right now, and he was getting almost 12 empty, and he drives like a grandpa, like 60, 62 miles an hour. So he may even be able to surpass your fuel economy numbers. But yeah, that's the way we help people on here. It's like this, sharing information, talking stuff out. We don't help each other by me finding volunteers to help you move your couch, or getting you a good deal on a used tire, or things like that. Desert Okie Pam, I have the Eaton 12-speed overdrive. They fixed that problem a long time ago. Yeah, also, when I was at that international dealer, and I admit this was a long time ago, it was when the A26 first came out. Then I was like, man, I love this engine. And they were like, yeah, but it burns valves real bad. From what I understand, they've improved that A26 engine, and the one that Desert Okie Pam has should be pretty well bulletproof. I just think the word hadn't got out about that truck yet. I think I know this year International made some improvements to the interior, to the body. They've got now the top bunk raises, and I think when the word gets out about the improvements that International's made and that A26 motor, I think a lot of people are going to start gravitating to it. It takes a while to change your reputation. Uh, for a while, it was kind of a reputation of a throwaway truck. The Max Force engine didn't do that truck any favors in the reputation department. But I think it's a good truck now. I wouldn't be afraid to own one. And almost did. The runner-up truck to this one that I'm in now was an International. Craig Hutchison, hey Trucker Todd, long time. Yes, sir. Good to see you again. P.U. Patel, channel member. I didn't know there was an International dealer in Muskogee. I didn't either till I went there. It's more of a shop than a dealer, and they've just got like 4 bays there. It's real little and kind of weird to get to. I kind of remember how to get there, but uh, that's what's bad about this is when I tell these stories, people go, "Oh, Todd, you worked at a lot of companies." Well, yeah, it was 8, 10 years ago. It was a long time ago. It wasn't last week or 6 months ago. It was long. Been driving 27 and a half years, almost 28 years. In 28 years, you're going to cover some companies. The average driver stays at a company 6 months to a year. So if I'm just average, that's 27 companies, and I've got far less than that. Several companies I was at 4 or 5 years. Roger Berry, channel member tapping out. Everybody have a great night. Be careful and enjoy your weekend. Thank you, Roger Berry. Have a great weekend. You never know, I may hop on here this weekend. All righty, the comments are slowing down. If y'all got something else you want to talk about, throw it up there and we'll get to it. If you don't, I may tap out and get back on the road, coming to a city near you. I would like to get somewhere in Colorado tonight, or even further if I could. The reason I don't know is I split log when I do these videos, and I'm not sure the exact amount of time I get back. Got a rough idea, but don't know for sure. I didn't know this. Life on 18 wheels. The new Internationals got rid of the A26 and now have the S13. I can't say that word. I know it's the European engines. Good deal. I didn't know that. But I was looking at a used International and it had the A26, and everybody was like, run from the A26. But I think a lot of people get the A26 confused with the Max Force. The Max Force definitely run from. You can buy those trucks for nothing. But the A26, especially the second generation, like Pam's about to tell us that she has, is a great truck in my opinion. And if I'm wrong, tell me, Pam. Do you think it's a great truck or do you regret buying it? But my opinion, it's a great truck. Desert Okie Pam, I have a second gen A26. It has I'm going to have to drink some sugar-free Red Bull. It has performance improvements over the old ones. Yep, I think it's a great truck. All right, let's see here. Channel member Robbie Ross with the $10, I think it's a super chat. Big event at Cowboy Stadium. Jake Paul against Mike Tyson. Is that tonight? I'd heard about that. I love watching Mike Tyson fight, but I think Jake Paul's going to win. Now, Mike Tyson 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I don't think there's anybody that could hang with him at the time. Right before he went to prison, he was a bad, bad man. Mud Truckin says, y'all have a blessed night. You too, sir. Be careful out there. Have a great weekend if I don't talk to you again. And let's see, Life on 18 Wheels. It's in June, I think. Yeah, I hope so. I'm gonna want to watch that, but I really want to see Biden tonight. I hope I get to see it. Desert Okie Pam, I had some issues with the computer flash when it was new. Been fine since they fixed it. Oh, so you bought it new? Yeah. I think all trucks when they're new, they have a few little bugs they got to get worked out. I think the ideal truck's one you find that's got between 50 and 100,000 miles in it, because then they've got a lot of the factory bugs worked out of it. Channel member Robbie Ross, this summer Mike Tyson is 58. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't care if he's 158. I wouldn't want to be punched by him. I mean, when you're a kid, your parents would tell you, I'll knock your head off your shoulders. Mike Tyson's a guy that he could hit you hard enough to knock your head off your shoulders. I mean, it's insane how hard that guy can punch and how quick he is. Gary Cook, channel member, I'm getting ready to play in Atlanta. Fun, fun. I don't envy you. Be careful over there, Gary, my friend. P.U. Patel, channel member, I'd still prefer the International with the Cummins. A26 engine might be good and improve, but probably won't last more than a Cummins as far as long-term reliability. I'm not sure on reliability. Like Desert Okie Pam was saying, they have made a lot of improvements. The one thing I would agree with you about P.U. Patel, though, is it's probably easier to get parts for a Cummins than an A26. Uh, all the dealers are going to have it because I believe pretty much every manufacturer. Well, I don't guess Freightliner does anymore. There's a lot of manufacturers. The pack cars had a lot of Cummins. Uh, you know, International has Cummins. I don't guess Volvo has Cummins anymore. But anyway, there's also the Cummins shops. So I would think service and parts might be easier on a Cummins. But hearing people say I'd never drive an International or that A26 is junk, I'm just saying if you feel that way, you might want to go drive one and check one out, because they're way, way leaps and bounds improved over what they once were. And Pam's living proof of it. She said, hey, I had some software problems when I first got it. We got those knocked out. Hadn't had any problems since. So it's been a good truck for her. And, I told you what the shop told me. Yeah, they burned valves. The first generation did, but they saw a problem, fixed it. And this second generation, like Pam is in's a really good truck. And the guy that got the International through SFI, he's got the Cummins. So, working for a big company like Schneider, parts availability won't be a problem for him. Desert Okie Pam, A26 meets the specs for 1.2. Wow. I'm thinking you're meaning million, that it meets the specs to go 1.2 million. Is that what you're meaning? Give everybody a second to type. Getting distracted. There's some guy yelling on the TV screen over here. I don't know what channel I'm on. It looks like it's playing cops. I'll turn my TV off now that I got it recording. Robbie Ross, channel member. Have you tried Coke Spice? It's even in Coke Zero Spice. No, I'll have to try it. I hadn't even seen it, to be honest. I do have a Coke Zero here, a fountain drink, but because I'm going to be driving tonight after the show, I have a zero sugar Red Bull here as well. Got to stay hydrated. No matter how many of those Red Bulls I drink, though, they still give me a chill. They taste nasty, but they are effective. I should be drinking coffee. I've been in a lot of cold weather. That's the only time I really drink coffees, when I'm in cold weather. I'll have to try that Coke Zero Spice. Hey, Robbie, channel member Robbie, what do you think tickets will be to that Tyson fight? We've been wanting to hang out at AT&T Stadium. It'd be cool if we could both get tickets and go to that. We'd probably have to sit in the nosebleed sections, though. That's a few months away. It'd give me time to save for it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Desert Okie Pam. You put K, which would be 12,000. I was like, it's better than that. I figured you went the 1.2 million. So yeah, you're going to get, you drive 100. Let's do simple math here. You drive 120,000 miles a year. That's a 10-year truck. So that's a lot of use out of it, especially if you do your proper maintenance, run a full synthetic oil, and keep up on your maintenance. That ought to be a good one for you. So Life on 18 Wheels, talking to Robbie. It tastes like those little gummy Coke bottle shaped candies. Oh, that would be good. I definitely need to try that. Especially if they've got it in a Coke Zero Spice. That way I'm not down in all that sugar. I'm down in those harmful chemicals instead. Ted Van Buskirk, my good friend. I hadn't seen him in a while. I shot him a text earlier today because I was kind of concerned about him. He works like a dog from sun up to sundown, so I'm sure he's just been busy. He says, "Hello, sir. Glad to see you. Sorry, just got a lot going on. I'll call you tomorrow." All right, man. Have a great night. I'm just glad to hear you're okay. Robbie Ross, channel member. My guess is they will be cheap. I was at a Jake P fight in Phoenix. I paid $75 a ticket. Man, that might be worth going to. You'd almost have to get a hotel and Uber over there, though. Find a hotel with truck parking and go that way. Well, you'd be able to park at your terminal. We don't have a terminal there. So I'd just have to, it requires some logistical planning on my part, but I think it'd be fun to go. We'll see how things go between now and then. Scalpers will probably buy all the tickets and they'll be $500 a piece. Okay, guys, y'all got any, and gals, folks, let me say folks so I don't offend anybody. Y'all got anything you want to talk about? Let's get it up there. Otherwise, I'm going to check out of here. We're almost at the hour and a half mark. I'm surprised, even though I can't talk, I'm surprised that my throat is held up this long. Yeah, you would have to get, well, we'd have to talk about it off the air. You'd have to get them to allow me to park over there, and then we could catch an Uber together and save a little money. Then it's only 17 a person. Ted Van Buskirk, thank you, sir. We just need lots and lots of prayers. Oh man, see, that's what I was afraid of, and that's why I hadn't bothered you. I figured there was something going on there. I'm really sorry to hear that, man. If it's not tomorrow, just call me when it's convenient for you, and let me know that you're okay, and let me know if I can help in any way. Channel member P.U. Patel. It's going to be a long night for me. I just shut down in Memphis, and the lot lizards are out in full force. Well, pace yourself, and you'll make it through the night. Uh, think of it as supporting the Memphis economy. Robbie Ross, channel member, park it Swift. LOL, it's right around the corner. Yeah, I bet they wouldn't let me park there. Well, you got to have a key card to get in, but I bet even if I talk to the people I'm still friends with there, I bet that'd be a big no-no. The problem they run into, it's all trucking companies. They don't want the liability if somebody was to break into my trailer or somebody backed into me. They don't want the liability. So I'd probably have to park at a truck stop and just Uber or Lyft over there. PU Patel, channel member, meaning they will be knocking and won't let me sleep. Yeah, I know. I was just teasing you, man. I didn't figure you would partake. There used to be uh, tricks you could do that would make them not stop at your truck, and some of them are pretty gross. But you could blow your nose on a Kleenex and set it on your running boards, and they would take that to mean you had already been taken care of, and they'd leave you alone. I've seen guys make signs and put in their windows, "Please don't knock on the truck," or "I'm not interested," or something like that. And the thing I do that seems to work real well is I'll close my front wraparound curtains, and usually they won't knock if they see you've got your curtains closed. But if you're sitting in the front seat or something like that, they're definitely going to proposition you. That's probably, I said a few weeks ago that I couldn't think of anywhere in the country where that still existed, but I'd forgot about Memphis. They are definitely on in Memphis on that one street. I can't think of the name of it right now, where the truck stops are, the Loves and that Pilot, and they're pretty prevalent there. You can see them all night long, and it doesn't seem like the cops even try to curtail it any. And I'm talking off old knowledge. I hadn't been to Memphis in quite a while. I've been running out west a lot. All right, the comments have stopped, and we're at the hour and a half mark. I'm going to get out of here and get back to work. You guys have a great night and a great weekend if I don't put out another video between now and then. And we'll see you on Tuesday with something else. Get ready. Like I said, I got some stuff I'm going to be giving away on Tuesday. It's nothing big, but you'll definitely, a lot of you are going to be interested in getting some. Ted Van Buskirk, how are the rates out there? Awful. We were talking about that earlier. One guy said he was in the southeast and that they were like $1.30 to $1.50. I was in the northwest. They were about the same. They're supposed to be starting to rise a little bit. Who knows how much or how quick? But they're not going to be. They're not going to be home runs. Also, I think Joe Biden's about to come on, so I need to hop off here. But you and I will talk pretty soon, Ted. You have a great night. Everybody have a great weekend. I'll see y'all later. Take care. I am out of here.